Morning Market Call. I'm Melanie Lopez, joined today by Professor Daniel Snow. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Melanie.
So this is part of our series to get to know the core professors for our BYU MBA program. And you are the professor for operations and supply chain management.
That I am.
So tell us a little bit about yourself to start off. Tell me a little bit about your family.
Oh, great. Thanks. Let's see. My wife, Rebecca, and I met here at BYU as undergraduates, and we have 3 daughters and 1 son, and we love it here. We have a dog who is problematic, and that's kind of the biggest problem in our family.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about what you like to do for fun.
I have a lot of hobbies, so most of them have to do with things that have wheels. Not all of them, most of them. Sometimes I ride a motorcycle to work, sometimes I drive like an old diesel station wagon, sometimes I drive a Land Cruiser, sometimes I ride a bicycle. I like things that have wheels for some reason.
Well, I know when we did the closing social at your house last semester that we saw some of the contraptions you've made. Yeah. Fortunately, they haven't fallen on anyone. You probably are talking about the big lamp that we have hanging in our living room. Yes, what would you say? That's about 20 feet.
Yes, and
good pulley.
It has a pulley so that I can lower it and change the light bulbs. But I think that I overbuilt it by 300%, so it shouldn't fall on anybody.
Tell it's an operations guy.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit about your background, how you came to BYU.
Oh, great. Yeah. Let's see. So the long story is that I did an MBA here at BYU and absolutely loved it. Went to go work at Ford Motor Company as a financial analyst when I graduated. At a certain point, decided to go back and get a PhD, and so left Ford, went to go get a PhD at the University of California at Berkeley. After completing my PhD, went to teach at Harvard Business School. I was there for 6 years, and teaching technology and operations management. And we decided to come here to BYU, where I'm now teaching this first-year operations class, and I'm part of the Global Supply Chain Management group.
Great. Now tell me a little bit about your class for the first years coming in. What is operations for those people that aren't familiar?
Well, operations is the most exciting thing in the business school. And we benefit also from the sort of expectations game, because many people don't know what it is or don't have much background in it. Operations is really the nuts and bolts of how things work, how companies work, how processes work. And so we try to give the students in that class a clear understanding of how you manage processes, how you make things work, how you actually deliver things. That's my answer.
Kind of high-level answer.
Yeah.
Good. So, okay, tell me a little bit more about your class. I know when I came into the program, probably one of the scariest things was going into your class 8 o'clock in the morning and hoping that you didn't call on me if I wasn't prepared.
Well, you were always prepared, Melanie. You did a great job. In that class, I have structured it the same as that class when I taught it at Harvard, and I also taught it at Wharton, and it's purely based on the case method. So in that course, you will come having prepared a Harvard Business School case, and there's a pretty good chance that you'll get cold called, as you know.
Yes, cold called.
Yeah, and I see this as an opportunity for really bright, talented students to measure themselves against their preparation, and to really check whether they are well prepared. And to me, the reason that I enjoy the case method is that students very often in class will have a light bulb moment where something will make sense, and I have a hard time getting those light bulb moments to happen if I'm just lecturing. So that's the reason I use the case method.
Great, thank you. And do you have any advice for first years coming in about maybe some resources they could use or things they could do to prepare?
We have fantastic resources here at the business school. I think we have world-class faculty. We have world-class recruiting and placement. And I think one of the most important world-class resources that we have that we don't talk about that often is the students themselves. So I would really encourage our students to get to know those people around them, learn from people with different backgrounds, do your job search in consultation with those other students that you're with, and really use them as a resource. It's a crazy first semester and first year, and the 2 years fly by. And at first you think that you can't manage any of this. You're going to drown under all of the coursework. Yeah. But you learn how, and I think that those colleagues are the key to figuring out how to do that.
It's great advice, Professor Snow. I know I truly enjoyed his class in operations this year, and I always enjoyed seeing the different flavor of shoes you had for us each day. Probably the most colorful wardrobe of any professor. So it was fun. Enjoyed the cases, and thank you again for joining us today on Morning Market Call. Please stay tuned for other episodes of Meeting Our Core Professors. Thank you for watching Morning Market Call.
MMC is brought to you by the Marriott School of Management in association with the Brigham Young University Department of Communications. MMC is made possible by a generous donation from Larry Tasjan and Gary Williams, and is produced by Rhett Weller, Todd Castagna, Mason Chen, Joel Tovey, and Sabrina Beck, with line producing by Kika Latu. For more information, find us on our Facebook and Twitter or at morningmarketcall.org.